want to know one of the reasons why getting out of the shop life was less of a headache? Because of all the electronic bells and whistles that they're sticking on every car. Nothing's made like it used to be. Everything's made like a damn cell phone these days. It's meant to upgrade. It's meant to throw away. It's not meant to actually fix. And they're even making them to where the average Joe can't even learn how to change their own brakes. I'm helping a lady out today because she was going to go to a dealership and they was wanting to charge her $400 to do her rear brakes. She's asking what the charges was for. They said, well, you got to put a computer on it. You got to disengage the brakes and all that stuff. Then you got to factor in the parts and the labor. They were talking about turning off the rear brakes, the electronic parking brake, the EPB. I was like, that's just ridiculous. And that's not even the best set of brake shoes. You know, the ones for her vehicle is about $80 for the best. They were trying to charge her $100 and some a rotor if she wanted to replace her rotors, which she could not afford right now. It's like, you know, that's just a joke because you can get them rotors online for $30, especially for the rear. Now, if it's the front, okay, it's going to run you about $100. And of course, you ain't got the money to buy a $2,000 scan tool or a $100 scan tool or whatever would disengage the EPB for her. There's ways you can do it. You can get you a 12-volt battery and run them in. You can just manually take them apart and run them back, which is probably the best method if you don't have a scan tool. But called up one of my buddies who just got his brand new scan tool in yesterday, and I was like, hey, care to come over and hook this thing up for me? We'll get this lady took care of. I'm pumping her air up for her, making sure she got air in all of her tires. But you know, right now it's right before Christmas. She ain't got all this money to drop on some rear brake pads. So I was like, you know what, go ahead and get you what you can afford, which is going to be the cheapest brake pads. I come over and help do this for you for relatively nothing. And then let me tell you, about 6 months into the year next year, if these things last because she don't drive that much, I was like, I'll come around June and we'll hook this thing up for you again. And we'll put the best of the best brake pads on there, and you need to order the rotors in advance and we'll replace the whole 9 yards for you. But I still do some automotive work. It's nowhere near like I used to. I mean, machines and equipment are getting the same way, but they're still relatively simple compared to everything they're putting on cars. It's just getting ridiculous. You break your door handle on some makes and models, you can't even order the door handle. You got to order the interior panel. It's a joke. They're making them like John Deere to where they want you to not be able to work on them unless you go to them. The diagnostic fees alone is going to run you a fortune. They ought to start making people some simple cars like they had back in the 80s with none of the bells and whistles, hand crank windows and everything, and you should be able to pick one up pretty damn cheap compared to what they're selling for today. And you know what? A lot of people would be happy. But in order for that to happen, the government has to get out of everybody's business and let them do it. I do have a few extra theories as to why they're wanting everything to go electronic. You see, a few years back, they was getting ready to pass a bill. That bill was going to give them the capability to shut down your car anytime, anywhere. So if the government was tracking you, you didn't make a payment, you was on the run for whatever reason, they could instantaneously locate your vehicle and stop it dead in its tracks. They're creating dependency on an industry that is lacking the skilled tradesmen that it once had. People are leaving, and they're leaving for a lot of good reasons. That topic is going to be for a completely separate video. Feel free to let it rip down in the comments below. Tell me your thoughts on these opinions. With all this stuff going electronic and digital, all it takes is one EM pulse to wipe you out. You know, John Deere, they own the market on everything dealing with their stuff. You have to go through their certified dealers, you don't get nothing fixed. Just like with the cell phones, after so many years, things are just going to instantly quit working, and they're no longer going to make parts for them. You're constantly going to have to go back to school and get re-education, upgrades, the computer's upgraded to do the diagnostics with, the whole 9 yards. I don't know about you, but I would rather have an actual steel cable hooked up to my gas pedal and to my gear shift. That way, if something goes sideways, I can just reach around there, zip tie it, and keep on trucking. But these days, once it's down, it's down. You have no choice but to call a tow truck.